It was a very dark, humid, and hot tour that they took us on during our first days in Rome. And as we're getting this tour, they're telling us this fantastic story about how Pius XII was so interested in archaeology and wondering what was underneath this big basilica in Rome. And as they're digging around, they've heard that there was formerly a temple there, a bigger basilica. And they were looking around to find the original altar that was under this big basilica of St. Peter's. And eventually they hit this wall. And in this wall, it says in Greek, "Peter is here." And this little stone they pulled out, and they found these bones. And as they're telling me this, I'm wondering, where are these bones now? Which church can I go to? Probably St. Peter's, but I've not seen them around. And then we enter into what's called the Clementine Chapel, and he's telling us about how ultimately they confirm that these were the bones of St. Peter. And then he has a little laser pointer, and he starts circling this hole. He says, "Look into that hole." And then as we were looking at that hole without saying anything, he reads this gospel. And as he's reading this gospel, I see in this hole a plastic box that has bones in it. And you can see ever so clearly a jawbone. And as I'm looking at that jawbone, I am looking at the very jaw which said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And it just hit me that what Jesus said to Peter has been fulfilled. "You are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church." And I was underneath the biggest church in the world, which symbolized the biggest Christian faith in the world. And I was just so grateful to the Lord for my faith. Today we celebrate the feast of St. John Vianney, the patron saint of priests. If you are grateful for your faith, if you are grateful for the gifts that God has given you through his priests, we can thank Peter, we can thank Jesus for establishing his church. We've received all of our graces, the beauty of our faith, through what we call apostolic succession. It just means from the apostles down to myself, there's been an unbroken chain from people that knew people that knew people that knew Jesus. And Jesus has given us the power. He says here, "I give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." We attribute that to the time of establishment for confession. So today we pray for all of our priests and in thanksgiving for the tremendous gift of faith that we have received.